What is going on, you guys? Petplatypus here, and it's time to review Gurren Lagann episodes 16 and 17, going back to the double review format. Starting off with episode 16, it's a recap episode. Moving on to episode 17, no, I'm kidding, but there's really not much to say. It's cool to see Kamina again, that was pretty awesome. I like the eye catchers, I like how they took all the eye catchers from like the first half of the series and put them all in one big picture for the first half and the second half. Really good artwork in the eye catchers. I don't know if I really mentioned that, but the eye catchers always look really fucking cool. So that's awesome. Well, I'm not gonna say awesome, but it's a cool little thing they did with all the eye catchers. And yeah, it's a decent recap episode, I guess. I've seen better, I've seen worse. It's just a recap. There's not much to say. Cool to see Kamina again. Cool eye catchers. That's pretty much it. It doesn't need a rating. It's just to save on money and stuff like that, and rescheduling and stuff like that. So, moving on to episode 17. And I'm glad that was a recap episode because I have a lot to say about episode 17. I'm pretty mixed about this episode, to be honest. I don't hate it or anything. I don't think it's even a bad episode. I think it's actually a very good episode. But there are a few things in it that do bother me. Things that I felt could have been set up better for the time skip. Character motivations, I think, that could have been a little better, more well-defined. And I don't like that Team Dai Gurren is like a fucking soulless government now, but I think they're going to address that, honestly. It feels like they might actually address that in the series, but either way, moving on from kind of hinting at the negatives, let's just go to the positives and then move on to the actual negatives. As far as positives go, it's a really well-animated episode for sure. Really good animation, really well polished. From what I remember, it didn't even have any like cheap out moments like they usually do. And I don't mind the cheap out moments because they usually do them with a nice comedic flair or they give it like a really good style to it. So I don't care when they cheap out on animation, but in this episode it was really well polished, really good lighting, really good art. Well, really good art for Gurren Lagann standards. Obviously, it's a little more loose approach, but still, really good art for what it is. So yeah, it was good. It was good visually. Even the building design and everything with the faces. I mean, it's kind of creepy, but still good building design and everything. Even the character designs for the post time skip stuff. All the characters looking older, though they all look good. So yeah, it's a good looking episode, but in terms of artwork and character design and animation. Music's pretty good, nothing too stand out, but still works for the scenes. I don't like that the eye catchers have like the fight the power thing in them now. It's really awkward, but total nitpick, not even a thing. It's just worth mentioning, I thought. Maybe not even worth mentioning. It's just kind of weird that the eye catchers have that, and maybe it was just for this episode, I don't know. But yeah, so that's the audio. In terms of story progression and world building, massive, fucking huge for the world building. They got this city, Kamina City, I believe, which was a really cool name. Then you have the government organization that they built, and all the characters are older now, and so many things have changed. Lots of story progression. We even get huge setup for the next big antagonist, or what seems to be the next big antagonist, by the end of the episode. So, yeah, tons of story progression, tons of world building with the city and sending shit into space. A little weird that they did it in 7 years, but alright, they can build shit with gunmen, that probably helps. So yeah, Yoko's off doing her thing, so that kind of puts her in a different spot. I'm kind of curious how she's going to come back into play later in the story. And I also like that people want to live underground. I think that's a cool concept. I think it's not unique, but it makes the people more unique. And that's not the right word. How would I say that? That's like, it makes it feel more realistic, I guess. That's a better word. I don't know why I said unique. Fucking dumb, slap myself. It's more realistic having people who are like, no, we don't want to go to the surface. The underground's all we've ever known. This is fine, we don't want to move, and then they're being forced to move. And then fucking Veryl's like, hey, that's just like the Spiral King, but in reverse. And Simon's like, what the fuck you doing, Rossio? And Rossio's like, we got to make sure there's not a million people. And then he's like, well, what are you going to do if there is a million? Send them off the fucking planet? And it's like, yeah, that's just like your old village. So I really like the ideological clash there too. That was a great scene in the episode where Simon brings up his village. And yeah, but on to the negatives of this episode, which they aren't too strong, but they are there. I don't like Rossio. I don't like the direction they're taking him in. He's a real dick now. He was always kind of serious and a little bit, cautious of stuff, but now he just seems like I don't know, he's just a dick, and he's going behind Simon's back on shit, and I'm not a fan of what they're doing with Rossio. I don't know if he's going to become an antagonist or a full-blown villain or what. It feels kind of like that's what's going to happen, and I don't like that direction for the character. Even if he was serious and kind of no nonsense, pre-time skip, I still feel like this is kind of a huge jump for him, personality-wise. But who knows? Kids are different from how they are as adults, so, you know. Nia was still kind of the same character, though, a little bit different. Simone's still the same character, you know, turning into Kamina still when he called them dumbasses. You know, he's like, I'm going to be my own me, bro. By being my own me, I mean I'm going to be you. Because that's clearly what he's doing. But whatever, nitpicking. Well, not really, because, well, I'll get into that in a different episode. But yeah, that's pretty much the episode, though, honestly. Oh, and Nia. I don't like what they're doing with Nia. Okay, no, let me say. It's not that I don't like what they're doing with Nia, having her be like a villain or having something possess her or whatever. I don't like that this was not set up at all. It really feels like you're forcing Nia into the plot because this was not set up in previous episodes. Like this whole like weird red line thing going on and like this crazy other personality or mind control or whatever's happening with her. It's weird. It's interesting. I want to see where it goes and it could be explained. But I feel like you could have properly set this up. It really feels like you're forcing her into the role of, like, the plot. And that just doesn't seem necessary to me. That's my biggest problem with Nia as a character. I don't have anything against her too much. I don't dislike her. But she is a character that feels like, okay, this is a bland character. She's okay. But then the show is just like, look how great Nia is. Look how talented she is. And she has, like, these speeches. And it's like, okay, fine. Like, don't shove her down my throat because she's really not that great. But that's really my only issue with her. She's a bland character portrayed as a great character by the series, and now it feels like she's being forced into the plot, so I don't know. At least she's hot now. At least I'm joking, but at least there's something better to look at. I don't know. I'm joking. So yeah, that's pretty much the episode, though. Actually, the fan service in this episode was a little bit lighter than it used to be. I mean, there's still some ass shots from Yoko, but even Yoko was wearing a shirt, so that was kind of that was kind of interesting. Can I just say the response time of that ship was like fucking crazy? Like that was like Amazon Prime 1 million. Like that was crazy. Like that shit was quick as fuck. Hit 1 million and boom. But yeah, that's the episode, honestly. It's a really good episode. It's got really good world building. I like the ideological clash between Simone and Rossio. Rossio, it's interesting where they're taking him, but I don't like it. It's interesting where they're taking Nia, but I don't like the lack of foreshadowing or setup. Unless there was, and you guys can correct me below, and I'll just admit that I was wrong. But I like the world building. I like the city. Really good story progression. Really good animation. It's still easily an 8.5 to 9 episode of Gurren Lagann. It's a really great one. Probably an 8.5. But it is set up for more to come. So I don't want to give it like too high of a rating because I feel like there's still going to be some really crazy epic things going on later on. So, but overall, it's a really good episode. Definitely a great episode of Gurren Lagann. That's pretty much all I have to say. So, what did you guys think of this episode of Gurren Lagann? I'm sure your thoughts on the recap episode are it fucking sucked, but what did you think of that episode too, I guess? Was it cool seeing Kamina again? Did you like what they did with the eye catcher? I don't know. Did you like episode 17? Like I said, tell me in the comments section below. Give this video a thumbs up and share it on social media. Both those would help me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already or if you like what you've seen here. And click that little bell to get notifications of when my videos go up. Well, thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.